we call the meeting to order of our May regular session. Let the record show Councilmember Byrd. Here. Councilmember Tomerlin.
Here.
Councilmember Aguilar.
Here.
Vice Mayor Alonso.
Here.
And I am present. Please let the record show that Councilmember Navarrete and Councilmember Lance are excused tonight. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by former council member and current Planning and Zoning Chairman for Bruce Armitage. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we give you thanksgiving for this time that we can gather together as citizens and as council people, mayor, staff, Lord, to do the business of this town. Lord, I know that you love this town. I know you watch over it and have carefully provided for it over the years. I ask tonight that you would give these council members, as they make decisions for the town, not just tonight, Lord, but even 30 years into the future. You give them wisdom and discernment, Lord, that they might use wisdom and good judgment in guiding and leading the town. So we just thank you tonight for your loving provision for us, and we just ask your blessing and favor tonight in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you for giving us our invocation tonight.
You're welcome.
All right.
By the way, in 30 years, I'll be in the cemetery.
Well, we've well platted that, and it's gonna get a rehab here soon, so it'll be ready for you.
Okay, all right.
All right, everyone, we always have a nice time together. All right, we are now at special presentations, and we do have a special proclamation, and that is our annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week. And that was actually last week. So before I read the proclamation, let's all give Ruby, our clerk, a big round of applause. Towns cannot run without a clerk. We don't have to have a town manager, but we do have to have a clerk and a police chief. So those are two critical positions that you have to have. And the clerk is actually the oldest profession known in municipal government across the world. So this is really a global proclamation because we have clerks in every country, in every town. And so we're very fortunate too that one of our clerks in Pinal County, Lisa Garcia, right? I always forget her last name. Lisa Garcia, she actually represented the International Municipal Clerks Association. She traveled all over the world to talk about Arizona and her clerk duties. So it's a really big deal, and Ruby also serves on some regional work for clerks, and so her work is much needed, and it's what keeps us on track. It keeps our audits on track. She does a lot of responsibilities, our minutes, record keeping, so it's a big deal. So let's give her another round of applause. All these words. Okay. Whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organization. It is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Now therefore, I, Mila Besich, Mayor of Superior, do recognize the week of May 3rd through the 9th, 2026 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Ruby Cervantes, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and the exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. So thank you, Ruby. Do you have any words you'd like to say?
It's just a continuing education. It's where our job is never done. We learn every year.
And every time the legislature changes something,
Yes.
you usually have to adapt with them. So thank you for all of your flexibility too. That's fun. All right, next up on the agenda are staff reports. And I have some very exciting news to share today. And this week, as you all know, we go to Washington, D.C. once a year, sometimes twice, and that's to advocate for Superior, attend trainings, but also to follow up on our appropriations requests. And we request appropriations from Senator Kelly and Senator Gallego. Senator Gallego announced his appropriations list this week, and we are on the schedule to receive $450,000, and that's to put our hydrant at the airport. So we can't get to developing anything at the airport until we have that hydrant in and another valve that has to go in there. So this is huge news. It's a first step in a rather large project. Everybody's probably heard about that a tiny $6 million project turned into almost an $18 million project. So we're kind of chipping away at that with this, and we're very thankful that our advocacy is paying off, and our team in Washington, D.C., that we're able to go and move these things forward. And we also put in our notice that we want to purchase our fire truck. And again, thanks to resolution, we have a contract on that tonight. But again, that was an appropriation that came from Senator Kelly and Senator Gallego. So big thanks to our federal representatives for supporting us. I spent part of this week with our team at Rebuild Superior and Resolution at the Global Forum, and spoke about critical minerals and our journey through the EIS. We were speaking in front of a global audience as there were mayors from Ireland, the mayor of Hermosillo, Mexico was there. We had a lot of different interactions, and we're talking about technology, lots of learning about AI and all of the things kind of happening in our economy and where does Superior fit in with that bigger global scale. So that was exciting, and thank you, Resolution, for that opportunity. I also learned this week that Project Central, which is a rural-based rural leadership program, is awarding me for their second annual Rural Leader Award. You can't have participated in Project Central, so I'll be receiving that in early May. And congratulations, I know our softball team went out and played pretty hard and got into the state championship. They didn't bring home the trophy, but we're very proud of all their accomplishments. Did I forget anything else, Todd?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, do you have anything else for staff reports?
No, there's a lot of things that are in progress that at the next council meeting we will have just as busy a schedule. So things with the multi-gen and with the water restoration pipeline, but those are all for next month.
Great. Well, we're going to keep moving with our consent agenda. Council, we will be seeking a motion for the approval of the minutes of the town council meeting on April 9th, 2026, approval of minutes of the town council work session on April 9th, 2026, approval of the minutes of the town council retreat from April 13th, 2026, approval of First Amendment to Town of Superior Economic Development Agreement between Town of Superior and Resolution Copper Mining, LLC, approval of temporary easement between BHP Copper Inc. grantor and the Town of Superior grantee. The grantee is planning a construction project to implement sidewalk construction along Panther Drive. Approval of agreement between the Superior Fire Department and Lexipool for policy manual. Approval of the Town of Superior employment opportunity for code enforcement animal control. Approval of the Town of Superior alcohol permit for Jacqueline and Mario Lopez for a quinceañera located at Vestige Park on Saturday, July 11th, starting at 12 noon, and approval of a grant agreement with USDA Rural Development of $718,000 for the purchase of our Type 1 fire engine. And then approval of our department reports. Council, is there anything you'd like to remove to be discussed separately? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilmember Tomerlin. Do we have a second? Second by Vice Mayor Alonso. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we're gonna go on to agenda item A, discussion possible approval of resolution number 2026-703, a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Superior, Arizona, Pinal County, adopting the fiscal year 2026-2027 tentative budget. Staff recommends approving resolution number 2026-703. This will adopt the tentative budget discussed in the work session on April 9th, 2026. The final budget will be presented for approval at the June 11th, 2026 regular council meeting. Once the tentative budget is adopted, changes may be made to before the final budget is adopted, but the total may not be increased. So where we're at right now, what we're presenting, we cannot increase that budget. So this has to be all encompassing of what we're predicting grant-wise and other funding. And it is a lean year this year due to other pending issues at the state level that we have no control over. Todd, do you want to give a recap quickly?
Yeah, the overall budget, $17 million. The actual operating budget of cash in and cash out that we generally operate under each year is $5 million. Of that, 3.5 is general fund. The rest is streets, enterprise funds, other dedicated funding sources, and the vast majority of that number is grants. We don't spend out that much each year in grants, but if all of the grants happened on the same year at the same time, you have to put it in your budget or you can't spend it. So it has a large catch holder for future grants. That it even has some room in there for grants in case we get new ones that we aren't aware of. So again, the overall budget has improved slightly. After our last presentation, some more projections came in, some more rates from our some of our insurance companies and everything came in, and our cushion for the general fund is now 5%. It's about $170,000. At our last presentation was about $130,000. So it's still not robust, but it is more healthy. A 5% cushion, even with potential cash flow impacts to a chaotic year, we should be able to move money around and make things work.
Council, any questions on the budget or anything before we go into the tentative approval? No questions or comments from council. Do we have a motion to approve the tenant? There's a motion by Councilmember Aguilar. Do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Byrd. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B is a housekeeping item. Discussion possible approval of resolution 2026-704, a resolution of the Town of Superior, Arizona designating the Chief Fiscal Officer for officially submitting the 26-27 fiscal year expenditure limitation report to the Arizona Auditor General. And we have staff recommends approving Todd Pryor, our town manager, as the CFO. As required by Arizona's revised statute, annually by July 31st, each city, county, town, and community college must provide the Auditor General the name of the Chief Fiscal Officer the governing body designates to officially submit the current fiscal year annual expenditure of limitations report, AELR, on behalf of the governing body and certify to the accuracy of the report.
Welcome.
Do we have a motion to approve? There's a motion by Councilmember Byrd. Do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Aguilar. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Who are we calling?
Our planning and zoning administrator is calling in for the 2 items further down.
Oh, okay.
You can turn him off when that happens.
Okay. All right. So now we're on agenda item C. Discussion possible approval resolution 2026-705, a resolution of the Council of the Town of Superior amending Article 4, benefits HR-4-05-E, volunteer sick leave bank of the Town of Superior personnel policy adopted February 8th, 2018. Staff recommends approving the resolution 2026-705. An employee of the Town of Superior may find themselves in a position where due to long-term medical issues, their sick time has been depleted. It may be requested by the employee that other employees donate sick time to a sick leave bank to help them with financial hardship associated with being off. So this policy allows that to happen. Council, do you have any questions or comments on this? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilmember Tomlin, do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Byrd, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we're gonna go on to agenda item D, and this will be a public hearing. So public hearing, discussion, possible approval of ordinance number 2026-204, an ordinance of the Town Council of the Town of Superior, Pinal County, Arizona, amending ordinance 17-140 zoning ordinance by adopting amendments to Article 3 zoning procedures, section 3.12.12 recreational vehicle parks. Recommendation, staff recommends approving ordinance number 2026-204. Discussion. At its March 12, 2026 meeting, the Town Council heard the proposed changes outlined in Resolution 2026-01 and Ordinance 2026-201 and approved the proposed changes. There was, however, a request for an additional stipulation regarding the condition of recreational vehicles, which is included in the attached ordinance. 11. All recreational vehicles within a recreational vehicle park shall be maintained in good condition and shall be roadworthy. At this time, I'm going to open up the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this ordinance? Going once, going twice. Last call for comments. All right, council, do you have any questions or comments on this ordinance?
Make a motion to approve ordinance
Hold
number.
up. I'm going to close the public hearing. Okay, now we can make a motion or council can discuss.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-204.
All right, we have a motion on the floor by the vice mayor. There's a second by Councilmember Aguilar. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're going on to the next agenda item, which is a public hearing, discussion, possible approval of ordinance number 2026-205, an ordinance of the Town Council of the Town of Superior, Pinal County, Arizona, amending ordinance 17-140 zoning ordinance by adopting amendments Article 8, general provisions, section 13-16, prohibition of temporary workforce housing. Staff recommends approving ordinance number 2026-205. The Town of Superior is seeking a proactive approach to this phenomenon by prohibiting temporary crew housing facilities within its jurisdictional boundaries. Superior benefits from an increased interest by developers in the creation of RV parks, permanent housing, and commercial businesses, which provides the flexibility to disallow these temporary crew housing facilities. At this time, the public hearing is now open if anybody wishes to address this item. Going once, going twice. No one is making a comment, and I'm gonna just add in here on this that these man camps, if you've ever watched an episode of Landman and the big scenes that are going on in there, that is what a man camp is. And we are doing our best to make sure that we create more family-style housing and encouraging environment. So at this time, council, do you have any comments on this ordinance? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and ask council for a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2026-205.
There's a motion on the floor by Councilmember Tomerlin. Do we have a second? Second by Vice Mayor Alonso. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're moving on to agenda item F, discussion, possible approval of a letter of intent between Verigy West LLC and the Town of Superior. Discussion, Verigy is a full-service performance contractor with the technical capabilities to provide services to the customer, including but not limited to energy and energy system auditing, engineering, design, procurement, construction, management, installation, construction training, monitoring, and verification, maintenance, operation, and repair. And we're looking at an agreement with Verigy to improve the, energy efficiencies at the wastewater treatment plant. And I'm gonna let Todd,
We do have a representative from the engineer, if you would like to address the council on your issue.
yes, if you'd like to come up and tell us a little bit about the project, we'll keep this moving right along.
You look surprised, like you wasn't expecting me to call.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and members of council. Todd, I am a little surprised that you brought me up here, but just to give you a little bit about our project, we started this back in December. Mary, you introduced me to Todd back in December. We had the introduction meeting, and since then we've been doing an energy analysis. And since that analysis, we've determined that you have old blowers, turbo blowers that need to be replaced, and we're asking that we replace those blowers. And you've got underground leakage from those blowers going to your aeration tank that we're going to replace, and then we're going to put fine bubble diffusers in your aeration tank. And then you've got some piping above your aeration tank that is a little too small for the installation that was put in. We're going to fix that for you, and then at the end we're going to put solar with partnership structures. And we're coming tonight to ask you for a letter of intent approval so we can move forward to the final engineering and designing to work towards the final contract.
Council, any questions or comments on this?
Let's just get it done.
Yes, sir, that's our intent.
We're gonna have the best wastewater treatment facility that we've ever had. By the time this is done, we're excited. Do we have a motion to approve, council? There's a motion by Councilmember Byrd. Do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Tomerlin. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor and members of council.
All right, discussion and possible approval of the First Amendment of Agreement for the provision of emergency response services between Resolution Copper Mining and the Town of Superior. Staff recommends approving this amendment. This amendment extends the emergency services agreement for an additional 2 years with the option to extend it. Amendment continues the previous contract increased by CPI and an additional $100,000 per year. And we really appreciate that as fast as the land exchange was processed, kind of unexpectedly, but expected, this extra funding will really help us start building out the things that we need and has really helped us in a budget shortfall. Council, do you have any questions or comments on this? Okay, hearing none, do we have a motion to approve? There's a motion by Councilmember Aguilar. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Byrd. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And again, we want to thank Resolution Copper for being good partners and making sure our public safety systems are in good working order. All right, agenda item H, discussion possible approval of funding agreement between the Town of Superior and Resolution Copper Mining. Staff recommends approving this amendment. Resolution Copper commits and pledges to give Town of Superior a donation in the amount of $293,038 to support the purchase of a Type 1 fire truck. Resolution Copper will pay the funding in one payment of $293.38 to be paid on or before January 30th, 2027. And that's the match to the appropriation funds that we received to purchase our fire truck. So that's why the chief and Todd could put the order in this week and they can start building it. And Todd, how long is it going to take to build our fire truck?
3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years is how long it takes to build a fire truck. So we'll be putting some news out there so people can see what we ordered. But again, this is an example of having a solid emergency services agreement that covers all of these things, identifying our needs, and having a partner that when we go out and find the money, they come up with the match. So thank you, Brian, and the teams at Resolution Copper. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the agreement? There's a motion by Councilmember Byrd. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Tomerlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we're gonna adjourn this meeting. We have a motion to adjourn our regular session meeting. We're not done yet, but There's a motion by Councilmember Byrd,
Second.
second by Councilmember Tomerlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now I'm going to call to order the meeting of the Town of Superior Municipal Property Corporation. So call the meeting to order is 7:25. Roll call, Councilmember Byrd. Here. Councilmember Tomerlin.
Here.
Councilmember Aguilar.
Here.
Vice Mayor Alonso.
Here.
And I am present. Let the record show that Councilmember Lang and Councilmember Navarrete are excused. And we're gonna go on to our business item, consideration and possible approval of resolution number 2026-706, a resolution of the Town of Superior, Pinal County, to authorize the application for a Clean Water State Revolving Fund loan from the Water Infrastructure Finance Authority of Arizona in the amount not to exceed $2.5 million. We have to make a motion on that.
Yeah, anyone have any questions on that? A good portion of that, there's about 700,000, just under 700,000 in loan forgiveness at the end. Plus we get a almost $400,000 credit for solar power. So about half of the loan will have to be financed. The rest will be paid through grant sources or tax incentives.
And this is the work that Verigy is actually doing in managing the grant.
Yes, and it does explain in Verigy's agreement that there are significant dividends over the long term for the energy efficiency and return on investment over the lifespan. So the intent of the Verigy approach is to make sure that this is revenue neutral or revenue positive for any improvements. That is in the long term. In the short term, we cash flowed out the revenues from the tax incentives and the loan payments, and for the first 5 years, this is revenue positive. So we don't have to come out of pocket for 5 years.
We have a motion to approve. There's a motion by Councilmember Aguilar. Do we have a second? Second by Vice Mayor Alonso. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item B, authorize chairman and chief operating officer to sign on behalf of the Municipal Property Corporation all documents necessary to apply for the loan application listed above. We have a motion to approve. Motion by Councilmember Byrd. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Tomerlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then agenda item E, do we have a motion to adjourn the Municipal Property Corporation? There's a motion by Councilmember Byrd. Do we have a second? Second by Vice Mayor Alonso. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The MPC is adjourned at 7:28. We're now going back into our regular session, and everyone's still here. So I'm going to go to call to the public. Was there anybody who signed in? No one signed in on the paper. Is there anyone who wishes to address the public at this time? Going once? Okay.
I just want to,
Please come to the microphone because those that watch on YouTube need to hear you.
I just want to inform or remind everybody that there will be a mayoral forum, debate, June 1st at the Chamber of Commerce. So, if you are interested in candidates and want to come up with what their platform is, and join us on on June 1st. I don't know what that time is. Do you know?
5:30.
So, please join us.
All right. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else in the audience wishing to address the council? All right. Last call, hearing none, we're going to move into, do we have any executive session items? Not tonight. And we're going to go into summary of current events. Councilmember Tomerlin.
I am not.
Councilmember Aguilar. Councilmember Byrd.
Congratulations to both the boys and girls team for making it to the playoffs and to the championships. Good job to them, and congratulations to our graduating seniors next week.
Yes, we did have our tea ceremony. Vice Mayor Alonso.
Same thing, congratulations to the senior class that'll be graduating. I know some of the kids are having parties, so if you're neighbors of them, just let them have their fun and the noise will cut off at some time. But I wanted to talk about the presentation we had today. So it looks nice, big picture things, but to, I think Todd's point, like, we've been trying to get this fire truck for years, so there was a lot of development that went into it, a lot of spec committee meetings and whatnot, and we finally had it ready where we're able to pull the trigger and get this going, but now it's gonna take 3 to 4 years. So that's just for a fire truck. So now big scope, look at which was presented tonight, and I think you heard it, it's probably anywhere from 20 to 30 years out before we would even see something like that. But, and that's just setting a baseline of what it is we'd like to see here, and that's not to say another council after us is gonna come in and agree with that direction. They may change it up. We've done that to previous council plans, and but it's a good start, and it helps us get a foundation, and it helps us set goals on where we need to be. And things change over time, so I'm sure people will come in and we'll readjust goals and look at targets and pivot and go in a different direction. But this is where we're at today, and we're excited about it. Thank you.
Well, again, thank you all for coming tonight. It's great to have an audience, and hopefully you have heard our meeting so you can understand and share with your friends and neighbors. There's a lot of exciting things happening. There's a lot of fortitude planning, but there's also a lot of hard work that's went into getting to these points, that these high dollar amounts of grants are coming, and these plans are coming into fruition. And we're very thankful to have the public-private partnerships that we have with Resolution Copper. And we're very fortunate to have that, because not every community our size has a partner like this that wants to see our community grow and evolve. So again, thank you, Resolution Copper. Todd, do you have anything else to add?
No.
All right, hearing none, scheduling of meetings and events. Emergency Services Committee will meet on May 21st, 2026. Community Development Committee meets on May 28th, 2026. Planning and Zoning Committee meets on June the 4th, 2026, and their next town council meeting, it will be June 11th, 2026. And we will have an early start meeting because we will be doing another presentation with Danny Court. I think we're gonna kind of switch it up how he's gonna do that so there can be some more engagement. With that being said, we have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Councilmember Byrd, we have a second. Second by Councilmember Aguilar, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and the meeting adjourns at 7:33.
Thank you.